What else do I have here? If you could instantaneously be an expert musician with one instrument, which instrument would you choose to play? I would be torn between the piano and the guitar. And I don't play either of them, unfortunately. I'm not very patient with learning new skills. Since I was a kid, I tended to be somebody that liked to just go after whatever I was kind of good at first go. And there's too much practice involved in playing an instrument. Singing is a little bit more, it just kind of comes out. It's a little more just natural for me, so. When it comes to songwriting, what is your favorite part, lyrics or melody, and what comes easiest to you? You know, I don't think I could pick a favorite. I think that it kind of, they kind of come in and out that way. I mean, sometimes when you're working on writing a song, you have like a beat or a chord progression already put into place, and you snake a melody through that chord progression, and it comes easily. Sometimes the words kind of dictate what the melody needs to be, because if you wanted to emphasize a certain word, if you were saying it, you need to emphasize it musically. For example, I didn't write "What Do You Want From Me," but for like that, the hook, "What do you want from me?" The emphasis musically is put on the "want," just like you would say, "What do you want from me? What do you want from me?" It's this. It's vocally the melody. It like mirrors the way that the lyrics are intended. So sometimes it's two in one. What else? If you had not been born under Aquarius, which other sign would have best suited you? You guys know I love my astrology, man. Well, I'm actually an Aries moon, and I think as I've gotten older and gone through what I've gone through, I think I'm more in touch with that part of myself, the moon sign, the instinctual kind of primal emotional self, which is what the moon represents. And I think in many ways I have a lot of Aries qualities. So I could see myself being an Aries if I wasn't an Aquarius. And it might be nice if I were an Aries, because I'm not so much. You previously mentioned wishing you could have a video for every song, and talked about wanting to create... Oh, that question got cut off. Yeah, anyway, I think that would be really cool, to create a video for every song. I don't know if it's going to happen, because it costs money. But in theory, it would be really awesome, because I picked songs that I could visualize things to. Each song on the album, to me, if I close my eyes, I could come up with some sort of concept, or I could see myself moving to, or like I could see a costume associated with it, or a setting. I think that each song has a very strong visual possibility. And hopefully what I'll get to do is, when I tour eventually, which has not been decided yet, we're working on it, I promise. Be patient, please. It's going to happen. It's just the right thing, the right time is important. But hopefully on the tour, what I'll be able to do is visually interpret each song as much as possible on stage, with video content, dancers, costumes, all the things that you would put in video, but do it live. Adam, will you make an appearance on American Idol this season? I'm pretty sure yes. Pretty sure yes, it's happening, but I can't confirm that here. It's kind of early. How often do you have to touch up / dye your hair? By the way, you would make such a fun best friend. Can we go shopping together someday? I have to touch it up a lot, actually. My hair grows like a weed. It's awful. The roots come in and they're like blondish, strawberry colored, and it doesn't go right with this look. And then also, like, the blue fades so quick. I put blue back in it. For a while there, I had taken it out after the summer, but I just put it back in. And yeah, I probably have to do it every 3 weeks or so. Or else it starts looking kind of crummy. And thank you, that would be fun to go shopping. What is the best pickup line you've ever heard and the worst? What is the worst? God, I don't know. No one ever picks up on me, that's the thing. I'm always the one doing it. So maybe if somebody would step up to the plate and ask me out for once, I would know what pickup line was the best and the worst. I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I haven't heard any. Other than the experience that helped you decide to participate in the American Idol competition, what is one of your most memorable Burning Man experiences, and/or what is the biggest lesson you took back to the default world and applied to your life? I think Burning Man's really interesting. I think it has to do a lot with unity, and it's almost this utopian concept that they're promoting. There's no money involved. Everything is based on positive thinking, art, dance, music, love. I think what I took from that experience was I tried to find a community of people that echoed those themes. You know, it's hard when you're in the real world, especially Los Angeles. A lot of people are out here with ulterior motives, and they're hardened, and they're just trying to compete with each other to get through life and to get to the next step. Whereas that community at Burning Man is all about unity and togetherness. So I think those kind of neo-hippie ideas are definitely ones that I hold close to my heart, and I try to live by even today. And they have a lot to do with the type of people I want to hang out with, the people that also share that type of attitude towards life. Good question. What does it feel like to find your fans and audience singing your song lyrics back to you when you perform live? What did it feel like the very first time you noticed it happen? I remember this summer during a couple performances of Mad World, I was close enough to the edge of the stage and it was quiet enough where I could hear people singing along. I think that's great. I think it's awesome. I like that you guys are excited and into it. I think it's awesome. Even this weekend I was in New York doing some concerts, and people knew the lyrics to What Do You Want From Me, which was exciting. So I encourage you, sing along. Oh. There's more coming. Only if I whisper. What is the most difficult song on your album to sing live, and why? We haven't done every single song yet live. We've done the majority of them. Soaked is tough. I mean, that's a real ballad. That one's hard. Actually, If I Had You is a really difficult song to sing. I don't really know why. I think just the rhythm of it and the phrasing, and when it gets in the chorus, just something about what key it's in and the notes. It's tough. It's hard. But I love singing it because I think it's a dope song. Hey Adam, I love your song Sleepwalker, and it made me wonder, do you ever walk or talk in your sleep? Or maybe even sing in your sleep? Well, you know, I actually don't think I am a sleepwalker. Someone told me I spoke in my sleep once, but I don't think it's a real recurring thing. Yeah, I don't think I do. I know that you and Lady Gaga briefly discussed the There He Goes line in Fever and decided to just go for it. Are there any eyebrows at 19 RCA raised, or did they sort of fly under the radar? You know, I'm really lucky. My management and the label that I'm on have been incredibly supportive, and I'm not just being PC by saying that. They've been behind me 100% in what I wanted to do creatively. And they know it's time to progress as an artist in society a little bit. You know, the simple fact of the matter is that it's not really RCA and 19 that dictate how a lot of this works. Radio stations have a lot of power, and they kind of dictate what happens and what doesn't work. And unfortunately, sometimes there's certain lyrics in songs that are controversial, and I know that there's probably a lot of radio programmers out there that don't want to scare away their viewers, and I can understand that. So it's really a simple game of kind of going, what can we do that's easily digestible and non-offensive? Radio is on everywhere. It's easily accessed. It has to be appropriate. But Gaga and I sat down when we were recording Fever, and the There He Goes line, I said, well, I can't say There She Goes, because no one's going to believe that. And I don't want to say There You Go, because it's kind of cool that we're talking about the same sex. I mean, it's the one song on the album that specifically references the member of the same sex. And I think that's cool. That's a part of who I am as a person and as an artist, and I don't think it's a big surprise. Everybody knows what my orientation is, so why can't I have a lyric kind of fitting that?